Reform's Lee Anderson complained in Parliament this week about the lack of MPs from minor parties on House of Commons select committees. Reform UK and SNP have formed an unlikely alliance in calling for greater representation on parliamentary select committees, as they have made the same demand of Keir Starmer and the House of Commons. Reform's Lee Anderson complained in Parliament this week about the lack of MPs from minor parties on cross-party groups, saying it was unfair given that the party had gotten some 4 million votes in the election. Leader of the House Lucy Powell insisted that the rules were long-standing and pointed out that Reform have only a handful of MPs. Despite gaining the support of millions of Brits in the general election on July 4, Nigel Farage's party only won 5 seats under the first-past-the-post system, which means that the party is not entitled to seats on these select committees. Meanwhile, Kirsty Blackman, the SNP MP for Aberdeen North, also pleaded with Ms Powell this week for members of her party to be included, saying, "Given the likely breakdown, does the Leader of the House understand that only 3 parties will be represented on the committee?" Ms Blackman asked. It would be possible to flex that slightly, and have voices from more than just 3 parties on the committee, while still keeping it relatively small. But Ms Powell said it was an unfortunate case of the mathematics that apply across all select committees. On other occasions, in past parliaments, her party has benefited from the formulas that are used, she added, but committed to regular and meaningful engagement with any and all parties. The Nats had been the third biggest party in the Commons almost a decade before, but won just 9 seats in the Commons in the general election, as Labour won by a landslide, including in Scotland. The humiliating result meant the 2 questions at PMQs the party previously enjoyed have gone to the Liberal Democrats, who elected enough MPs to become the third largest party. Select committees check and report on areas ranging from the work of individual government departments to economic affairs and run on specific topics. The outcomes of these inquiries are public, with many requiring a response from the government. Committee also carry out their work through correspondence, with public events and surveys, roundtable discussions and visits.